is number 76, The Stone Mind. Here it goes. Fa Yin, a Chinese Zen teacher, lived alone in a small temple in the country. One day, 4 traveling monks came and asked if they could build a fire to warm themselves. While they were building the fire, Fa Yin heard them arguing about the nature of reality, arguing about subjectivity and objectivity. He joined them and said, "There is a large stone. Is it inside or outside your mind?" So let's look at that first piece. Subjectively means somehow that there is something personal here, something that I, me, and my am subject to, that it applies to me as an individual. Object is more neutral, uncolored, theoretically, by our fixed beliefs. Objective is theoretically outside, and subjective is theoretically inside. So they're arguing about, well, what is reality? Is it outside the mind is inclusive, or is it inside the mind? The mind is the only thing we have, it's always present. So taking a concrete example, there's a rock. Where does that rock exist? And here's how the story continues. One of the monks replied, "From a Buddhist viewpoint, everything is an objectification of mind. So I would say the stone is in my mind." Bankei said, "Your head must feel very heavy if you're carrying around a stone like that in your mind." Now, when we look at the outer world, in a way, what we are seeing is the visual field, the visual consciousness. We're seeing a certain dimension of reality. And that visual field, that visual consciousness does not have a weight, does not have even a location really. But if we attribute our things that we know historically to different objects, if we attribute it, then the object becomes a conglomerate, an aggregate of senses, memories. And in that way, it has, because of our memory, weight. So we are carrying the weight of things in our mind as we add on, as we cover, as we have an overlay of thoughts, opinions, feelings, on top of the freshness of reality. The reality of the visual field is very light. The reality of our past covering the visual field, the reality of all of those memories and assumptions added onto the visual field is very heavy. So we have the capacity to lighten our whole world.